Howdy my peeps and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about different ways that I practiced when I started drawing, and this was suggested by my patron Zachary. Thank you so much for your suggestion. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any other tips for beginners or tips on how you used to practice or how you practice now, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I would love to read them, and I would love for other people to see them as well, because my way is not the only way. All of us have different ways of drawing and practicing, and I feel like we all need your information, so give it to us. But before we get into all of that, I would like to give a shout out to Tatiana Volk, who is the comment of the week. This, not gonna lie, kind of biased, because Tatiana is one of the creators here on YouTube who inspired me to start my channel. So yeah, the comment meant a lot to me. But I love reading all of y'all's comments, and if you would like to be the comment of the week, all you have to do is comment on any video. That could have been you. I'm also on Patreon, and you can find things like exclusive drawings and a studio vlog and exclusive speed painting and things like that every month over there if you're interested. But anyways, today, like I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about things I did to help me get better at art when I was starting out. And I feel like, well, first off, if you feel like your skill level starting out is not what you want it to be, I would just like to say, well, one, skill doesn't equal talent. I feel like even if you feel like you're unskilled, like you're not on the level of like a Loish or like a Leonardo da Vinci. Earlier I was recording and I was about to say the actor. I don't know how to pronounce his last name now that I think about it, but you know who I'm talking about. I don't know why I was confusing the two, but anyways, like even if you don't feel like you're like skilled, I don't think that means that you're not talented. I feel like talent starts with having a love for something, and that love kind of drives you and inspires you to keep going forward with something, because if you don't like to do something, I feel like you're not really going to get super skilled at it, because like you're not going to want to practice it, because like I don't like doing it anyway, so why am I going to try? So I feel like even if you're not super skilled, I still feel like you can be talented. And yeah, so like I feel like if you are, first of all, if you're watching this video, I feel like that alone shows that there's some talent there, because like you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't want to learn how to draw and get better at drawing. So I feel like you're already on the right track, my friend. You're doing great. And one of the things that I think helped me a lot starting out is the fact that I wasn't on social media. Of course, times were different. Like this wasn't like super long ago. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm like 20, so I mean, this wasn't like a super long time ago, but if I recall correctly, I was like around 10 or 11 when I started drawing. Like regularly and a lot, and so I wasn't on like Instagram or anything. I didn't really do that, barely. I didn't really watch YouTube then either, so I didn't have that influence on me, and I know times are definitely different, and pretty much everyone is on social media these days, and being on social media I think is an amazing help, especially for like YouTube, because you can like watch tutorials and things like that. But I feel like to kind of adjust that so it can be relevant to today and useful for today, instead of like not being on social media at all, I would suggest maybe not posting your early work on social media starting out, so that you don't have that pressure. Because sometimes like if you're drawing something and you have the intent to share it with someone, especially on social media where it has the potential to be viewed by a lot of people, like that can be a lot of pressure. And if that's not something you want, like if you don't want to feel pressure to draw something that is quote unquote good, I would suggest not posting art on social media starting out, so you can at least get over the initial hurdles of learning a new skill. So you know, you don't have all that pressure and stuff. I think that helped me out a ton, like even before starting actually drawing. It's just like I don't have all of this external pressure on me. It's just like I'm just drawing freely because I want to, and I think that was a huge help. But anyways, one thing that I am an advocate You know what I mean. One thing that I enjoyed doing even today, and that I did a lot then as well, well, I did it in a different way, and I'll explain that later. Sketching. I think sketching is a great tool, because sketches aren't necessarily, like, they're not necessarily, I don't feel like sketches, this is my opinion, I don't feel like sketches have to look super nice and super polished. And for me, sketching is a way to kind of, especially if I haven't been drawing for a while, to kind of get over the initial hurdle of wonkiness for drawings. And I feel like that also applies to beginners as well. Just doing a lot of sketches, like unfinished stuff that doesn't look the best, experimenting with different things, like different styles, and practicing your anatomy and things like that. To be completely honest, I never really sat down in the beginning especially and just like practiced anatomy. What I did was I just picked up little nuggets along the way, which I think for me that has worked and helped a lot, because sometimes just sitting down with the intent to study the human body can be daunting, and can kind of just, I mean, for me at least, can be a little discouraging because it's like a lot, and just like to remember all the little things. So what I did instead was I would look at other art styles and things, instead of looking at people as references, which I know some people suggest not doing that, and the reasoning behind that is that someone's interpretation of human anatomy may be incorrect. And this is definitely true, but at the same time, I feel like it's a good starting place to like look at someone else's drawings and like see how they break down anatomy before sitting down with like something that, like the actual human body, like that, and then trying to break that down. Because like for me at least, like starting out, it's like, how do I break this down? Like, how do I look at a face, for example, in its simplest forms? I don't know what I'm doing. I just started. So I feel like it's, like for me, it was better to look at how other people broke down human anatomy before I, like, even attempted to do it myself. And even now, like, I still don't do, like, anatomical studies and things. I have, like, transitioned into using, like, photos as references instead of people's art as references. I don't use people's art as references anymore. I just use like photos and things I find on Pinterest. But I wasn't like that initially, and I even traced at the very beginning. I would trace over like coloring sheets to help me a lot, and which kind of goes back to my first point about not being on social media, because if you're starting out and you are using tracing as a means of practice and then you post that, you don't want to do that. You can get yourself into some hot water. That is not recommended. Do not, like, if you are like tracing to practice, do not post that on social media, and do not pass that off as your own. That is art theft, and that is not cool. Do not recommend. But when I was starting out, I did like trace like coloring sheets, and sometimes I would like look at something. The thing that I'm thinking about in particular was a Phineas and Ferb episode. They were like going all over the world, and there was like an anime portion, and I like was drawing the anime characters and like doing them, like drawing them in different outfits and things. If I tried to post that and pass it off as my own, that would be dishonest. That would be art theft. That is not good. But for practicing purposes, that was very helpful, because like I was talking about earlier about anatomy and things, it's like seeing how someone else breaks down anatomy, and like, especially if I really thought about it, it did help me to understand anatomy a little bit better before I even started using people as references, like actual faces as references, if that makes any sense. I can't remember where that point was going. Anyways, another thing I did a lot of starting out was just drawing a lot. And if you draw a lot, one thing I would suggest you do, which I didn't know this at the time, I wish I had, Do not put a lot of pressure on your arm. Like, don't lean on your arm as you're drawing. You don't want to do that. You can end up in my boat, and my boat is called Cute Little Tunnel. I was gonna give it a boat name, but now I don't know boat names. Long story short, I have Cute Little Tunnel because I didn't draw with correct posture, and I didn't stretch and exercise my arms and things. So like, if you are going to use that advice to draw a lot, I suggest doing some stretches. I have a video I'm going to put up in the iCards where I do like show like the types of stretches that I do for my arms. You can check that out if you like. But anyways, I would draw a whole lot. And like, I think about it these days, I'm like, how did I do that? And earlier I was thinking about it, and I realized it's because I didn't have anything else to do with my time. I was homeschooled, and I didn't have friends, and I was not by myself, I have siblings, but just like at home a lot. So I spent my time drawing a lot, and I would draw like several finished drawings in a day. And that is just mind-boggling to me. I don't know how that happened. But anyways, like I said, I would just draw like a lot. And they would be like finished stuff, so it would have like line art and color and things like that. And what that helped me do was to like find my place in the art realm, to see what type of art supplies worked well for me and what I wanted to do with my style. It also helped me to try different things with my style, try different things with line art, try different things with color and shading and things like that. And that was a tremendous help in the beginning, because like initially I didn't do a lot of sketching. I would only do like finished stuff, and I kind of transitioned into sketching later, but just like drawing like a whole lot, like my style changed so much, especially since I was just drawing like a lot. And like how art styles develop, according to my observation, is just like you draw a lot, or maybe not even a lot, like you just drawing, and in one day you just draw something just a little bit different. You might not even do it consciously, which I find for me a lot of the times it's just I just drew the line differently that time, and then you just keep doing that thing, and eventually that thing just becomes a part of your style. And so just like by drawing a lot and just trying a bunch of different things, my style was able to develop. So it went from me like tracing other people's drawings, tracing coloring sheets in particular, and looking at artwork and then looking at artwork and drawing what I saw. It went from that to me not doing that at all, and just like drawing things off the top of my head and doing that a lot. And that helped me a lot with developing my style. And I like, if you have the time and the stamina for that, and also like I said, stretch your arms, exercise and things, like if you can do all those things, highly recommend doing that, because that's a form of practice. Like sketching for me these days, like that's how I practice now, and then it was like doing finished stuff. So just like practicing will help you get better, because if you don't do something, you can't get better at it. Like it also helps like look at other people, like watching videos and things and seeing how other people do it, but you have to, put what you see into practice and just draw. Just start. Just do it. Like I said, if you're here, you're already on the right track. So just go get yourself some paper, go get yourself some pencils, or a pencil, regular pencil. I just use a sketchbook and a pencil. When I started, I was using copying paper, and just art supplies I got from the dollar store. So you can get like stuff like that and just start. Just starting sometimes is the hardest thing to do, especially if you are feeling pressured by social media to draw something that looks like a masterpiece right off. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to share your stuff. You don't even have to tell people that you draw. You can just start and you can do it. I promise you. And that is all I have to say. Anyways, while you were watching all that, I was drawing my OC lengths. This is how that drawing turned out. I hope you liked that drawing. I also hope that my tips were helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out to my patrons, Turtle Bun Buns, Ariana, Kelsey, Sister Donna 55, and Zachary. Thank you so much for being my patrons. I really appreciate you and everything you do. Also, I'm on Coffee. I'm also on Artfol and Instagram, so you can head over there and check me out if you want to. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please enjoy the rest of your day, my peeps.